Consumers and citizens are really facing a really tough environment nowadays because we are immersed in an economic crisis, but we are also immersed in a crisis of values. And when we conduct research, we can see that the degree of trust that citizens have towards a lot of institutions is decreasing. We can observe also from research that one of these institutions that is suffering are brands. The degree of trust that consumers have towards brands has been decreasing during the last years. And this is raising really important questions for the future of branding. In this regard, Nicholas, which are the main challenges that brands are facing in the near future, according to you?
To pick up on your theme, Oriol, I think there are two key crises facing brands. The first is a crisis of authenticity, the fact that we no longer believe what brands are telling us. So we have less faith in advertising, less faith in marketing communications, and I think this raises a degree of skepticism towards what brands are all about. And the second thing is that we have, I think, traditionally seen brands as something that organizations own, and organizations send out messages to consumers and other audiences. But I think that's really changed, that brands have become much more transparent, and they've had to open themselves up. So actually what you see now is that brands are defined much more by the dialogue between the organization and the customer, and they're not something that actually the organization really owns anymore.
I completely agree with you, Nicholas, and in fact I believe that there's a clear power transfer from the brands to the customers, and in fact some authors even talk about brand hijack. On the same or along the same lines, I also believe that consumers and employees seek brands which are authentic, ethic, human, and that really deliver on their experiences. These are some of the central topics that the Medinge Group, worldwide think tank on branding, discusses usually, and I would like to ask you if you could tell us something more about the Medinge Group, please.
Well, the genesis of the Medinge Group is interesting in this sense, I think, because we started this organisation about 12 years ago in Sweden. It was a group of people coming together from very diverse backgrounds and different parts of the world. And actually what we were acting to was a book that was published around 2000, which was a book called No Logo, which was very critical of brands, talked about brand bullies. And what we did as a group is we came together and we said there's a crisis coming here in branding, what can we do about this? And our argument was that brands have to change towards being more human and more humane. And that's really what we've been arguing for over the last 10 years or so. We've written books, we've written papers, we've had discussions. We have 2 events a year where we come together and we do presentations and we exchange ideas and try to make brands more relevant to people in their day-to-day lives. So this isn't a managerial perspective on brands as such. It's much more about, can brands actually make our lives better and what do they need to do to really deliver that? So that's the mission, if you like, of the Medinge Group, and also why we're here in Barcelona in September, discussing these issues and thinking at how we can address them and improve managerial responses to the idea of what brands can be in the future.
So during these days that the members of the Medinge Group are here in Esade, what we're going to do is discuss all together these elements that brands need to face in the near future in order to respond to this crisis of trust that we were talking about, and we will try to explore which are the solutions that brands should adopt in order to be successful in the near future. For sure, issues such as authenticity, the transfer of control from the brand managers to the increasing degree of power to the customers, and also issues related to ethics and also issues related on how to make brands more human and human will be some of the more relevant topics that will be rising in these discussions.